Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be talking about Batman issue 10, written by Matt Fraction, with art by Jorge Jimenez, colors by Tormo Mori, and letters by Clayton Cowles. The Bat family are scattered as they all learn Batman and Robin blew up Wayne Manor, with Stephanie believing that it wasn't really a fair trade for letting Barbara get caught. Vandal doesn't seem to mind the manor he owned being blown up, overseeing its destruction with nothing more than a hearty laugh. Later on, Vandal delivers a press conference where he praises his two co-officers for their successful raids against Batman and his associates. On top of that, he announces the new Rat Out the Bat campaign, where he will reward people with cash prizes if they give any and all information on where Batman and the other vigilantes are. I really like what Fraction is doing here with Vandal, where he's turning everything Batman is doing into a PR bit for himself, framing it like he's blowing up buildings and hiding things away all over the city, things that could have hurt the public and stuff like that, and Vandal is there gallantly cleaning it all up and everything. It's great to see him sort of try and undercut what Batman is doing, though this is like all part of the plan for Batman. He wants Vandal to do all of this. This new thing with the Rat Out the Bat thing is pretty cool as well, and I feel like that's gonna tie into like Jack and Houston's story. You know, we've seen a lot of Gotham from their point of view where it's the desperate people and people doing it hard, so I expect a lot of people maybe will willingly try and turn Batman in, or at least, you know, try and get in the good graces of Vandal in some way. After the conference, Vandal tells his people that he needs any and all data from the hard drives they recovered from the Bat bunkers, as well as the makeup of the acids used to destroy what couldn't be saved, which makes me think he's planning on making some of the acid himself so he can frame Batman for some other terrible crime. He orders Barbara Gordon to be sent out to the Supermax prison as he runs into Jim, who doesn't even flinch when Vandal spots him, making Vandal remark how he's a very brave man. Gordon's bit in this story is the only part that I feel is lacking for now. We haven't really spent any time with him. We got a little bit to begin with, and, you know, seeing him back on the force as just a beat cop. He's friends with Harvey, who's the PI now. We've just gotten little bits, and I feel like with Barbara being in jail, we need to start seeing him more and him getting more involved with Batman and his side of the story. I do like, though, that it seems he is taking a stand with some of the older veteran cops against Vandal and not backing down. He's continuing to do his job like he wants to do and not letting Vandal get the better of him. Out in Little Tokyo, Tezuki attends the funeral of the person that the Minotaur killed, attending the funeral by himself. The ceremony is interrupted by one of his men, whom he threatens to kill thanks to its interruption. The man gives him a special envelope as it's revealed to be the Minotaur himself, who Tezuki rushes, intending on killing the villain for what he did. I don't really know how to feel about the casual reveal of the Minotaur here. I do like that he's just seemingly some random guy and isn't a character we're introduced to earlier on, like I thought it was going to be. He appears to be related to Tezuki in some way and mentions that they're going to be family now, although that could be taken as two different ways, as he means like literally like he is part of Tezuki's family now, or this could also be interpreted as the Minotaur now leading the Taurus, which was the little multi-crime family group that Tezuki and Penguin and all those other guys were part of. It's just a little confusing, and I feel like I'm missing something here. Like there should be like some sort of thing here where like, oh, we meant to like know who this guy is because Tezuki seems to know who he is, so it's someone related to him, and we've kind of followed his story because he's in bed with Hugo Strange and all of that. It just feels like we're missing that one crucial detail here, or I've missed something, though I don't feel like I have. The Minotaur allows Tezuki to have his outburst, but warns him not to pull the trigger on the gun he has pointed at his head, since he has a gift for him. In the envelope he gives Tezuki are the broken, bloody glasses of Hugo Strange. The Minotaur reveals that he knows Tezuki was hired by Strange to kill Dr. Zeller, but all of that fell apart when Zeller got away with Bruce Wayne, and because of that, Hugo vowed to kill Tezuki. The Minotaur heard about this and sent a kill squad against Strange. Sometime in the past, the kill team come for Strange, whose monster men defend him as he makes his escape. But the Minotaur anticipated this, catching Hugo in his escape tunnel and killing him in a hail of bullets. So I guess Hugo Strange is dead now? I guess it appears pretty clearly that he is killed by the gunfire, and, you know, the bloody glasses kind of confirm it. Again, just how nonchalant it is kind of really cool. I kind of like that's like just something that the Minotaur just like waved away, and it's like, it's not really important. It's, you know, Hugo Strange, who cares? It's something I've really liked about this character, the Minotaur, where he's not doing the usual thing like a new villain who is coming in and taking over turf in Gotham is doing. He's not, you know, hitting all of these businesses or trying to take over the Iceberg Lounge or something like that. He's playing it smart and playing it like it's a big business, because for him it is a business, because he talked about in that debut issue about how all of this affects their bottom line and their margins and everything, and I quite like that about the villain. It's something we don't really get to see all that often. Minotaur tells Suzuki that when one of them bleeds, they all do, and blood demands blood in kind. He knows that Hugo Strange bled a lot for them as he leaves the room, letting Suzuki continue the grieving process of his loved ones. At Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne complains to the gathered board members about the huge bodyguards who are required to follow him, since he believes the assassins that attacked him and Dr. Zeller were actually after Zeller, not him. Blake tells him that they would worry less if Bruce would just worry some more. And besides, Dr. Zeller filed her paperwork and her project has been shut down, something Bruce is a little confused by. Blake doesn't let up, wanting to utilize the titanographene that Zeller would have used for military applications, which Bruce responds to by taking Blake's tablet and hurling it at the wall across the room, not wanting to do any sort of military application for Wayne Enterprises. The Wayne Company bits of this run have been some of my favorite, and I really like any Batman run that has an equal parts of Batman doing Batman stuff, and then you got Bruce Wayne dealing with his company stuff. Someone's trying to either take it in a direction he doesn't want to go, like this Blake guy who wants to take it into a military direction and get military contracts, or, you know, someone's always trying to like take something from Bruce, and I like that he gets to have a bit of a story as well. It's just not constant Batman, and I think that Fraction realizes that and is actually going to marry the two stories together in some way. Blake gets more agitated, reminding Bruce that this is a publicly held company and they have an obligation to shareholders to make them money, and he cannot wave off $1 billion revenue stream like it's a cheap bottle of wine. Bruce merely quips that he drinks champagne, not wine, and Blake ignores the quip and tells Bruce to say yes to the deal and it will triple their stock overnight, and with that much money, they can do whatever they want. This spurs a thought in Bruce's mind, as later at the Batcave, Bruce tells Alfred that this is all tied to money and blood. Bruce knows that blood is flashy, loud, and gets attention, but money is respectable and legal, and with enough of it, you can do anything. Booting up the Batcomputer, he tells Alfred as Batman he focuses on the violence and chaos of crime, but it was Bruce Wayne who started thinking about the money. Fraction using Bruce like this as a tool for Batman is really interesting. Batman uses his secret identity to investigate stuff like money and criminal financing backing, and it kind of makes sense. It makes sense for that, like a billionaire would like look into this sort of stuff. Doesn't draw too many people's eyes, because that's like something a billionaire would, to try and figure out, you know, money and that sort of stuff. And I like that he can put that together by doing that as a billionaire. That's like the Bruce Wayne side sort of coming over instead of the Batman side. Again, like I said before, Fraction is marrying these two parts of the Batman persona really well together. Bruce tells Alfred that the Minotaur stayed invisible because he didn't treat Gotham like turf that needed to be seized. He saw it as a market to disrupt and an asset to acquire, something that a businessman or billionaire would see it as. Bruce knows that they are now dealing with a capitalist, and Alfred, now changed into his bookkeeping attire, decides it's going to be a night of forensic accounting in the Batcave. Bruce knows that that's not going to happen, since Vandal has been telling Gotham and the world that the time of the Batman is over, and he's going out into Gotham to let them know that he's not going anywhere. The little bits of progression on the Minotaur plot in the background of all of this Vandal Savage stuff, I think, is the right way to go about it. Batman has a bigger fish to fry with Vandal right now, and he knows that if he deals with Savage, that was probably actually going to hurt the Minotaur's bottom line in some way, and now he knows the villain is a businessman. He knows it will be a major blow if he takes down Vandal, who is allowing all of this crime to happen. Minotaur being more of a capitalist businessman than some criminal overlord is something I really liked about him when he first showed up. It made him a different kind of animal for Bruce to deal with. And it's also one where, like what we've seen here, both Bruce and Batman can fight against it. It's just not Batman punching stuff and using gadgets and stuff. It's actually using the character very effectively. Out in Gotham, Batman stops a man driving around firing his gun into the air since he didn't think that Batman is around anymore, and it's fair game. He delivers the man and his friend to the local police department as Vandal glad hands the media, telling the chat show hosts that he has done all of this and ended Batman's reign of terrorism, and in the last 24 hours they have crippled his operations. Batman continues traversing the city and stopping rampant crime, now covering it, saving Gordon and his partner from a shooter, stopping a jewelry store robbery, and preventing a drug cartel boat from entering the Narrows. All while Batman does this, Vandal continues to go and do the media circuit, proclaiming that he has saved Gotham. After putting out a huge fire in the Upper East Side with his new Bat Foam fire suppressant, Batman begins putting all of these little boxes on the rooftops of Gotham's buildings. But just before he's about to leave the last one he places, Batman spots Catwoman on a nearby roof, sharing a brief moment with Selina before they both go their separate ways. I wonder if this is some hint that Fraction has an upcoming Batman-Catwoman story in mind. I think this is probably the first time they have met since Gotham War. I can't remember another time, at least in this book, that they have met. So I think it's like a little bit bittersweet between the two of them. You know, there is a bit of bitter between both of them because of what happened in Gotham War. And I like that that's kind of where it's left, where they both know where each other stands. And, you know, there's the hero and the anti-hero. And I'm intrigued to see if he has a story for them or whether we're just going to leave it like that. Either way, I'm really happy that at least Catwoman is showing up at some regard in this book. At the GCPD computer forensics lab, one of the techs has managed to get one of the stolen Batman hard drives online. As it comes online on his computer, the power goes out across the city, and the Bat family all get pre-recorded messages from Barbara, who tells the family that if this worked, she was arrested and they all got out safe. She apologizes for not letting them in on her and Batman's plan at the time, since she was worried some of them would try and break ranks and rescue her. But she couldn't let that happen, reminding them to trust the plan, as tonight's the night they beat Vandal Savage. Vandal, meanwhile, is angered the power and phone lines are down as the boxes Bruce puts out onto the roof begin to activate. Vandal demands his car pull over as Barbara reminds the family that no matter what the TV or interviews say, Batman always wins. The boxes let out small glowing drones which light up the sky and the city everywhere, except for the main GCPD building. Barbara tells the family that things are going to get hard and they might start to doubt, but all they have to do is look up. Across the city, the drones converge together, creating a massive bat signal, covering the city in a shining yellow light. So that's two Batmen who have used massive bat signals in Gotham to announce their arrival, or that, you know, they're not going anywhere. Absolute Batman did it a few months ago, and it's such a cool idea. I love the idea of like utilizing part of the city or something near the city as like a giant bat signal. It just looks so cool. You get that really cool page, and Jorge Jimenez does a really fantastic page here with the bat signal 2.0 here. That's always going to be in the sky, I guess, now with these drones. And I also like that it's something that Vandal can't just go and destroy either. It's something that he will have to work at getting, and I like that that's what Batman is doing. He's just kind of frustrating Vandal with every little thing he does, and it's going to make him slip up. Like Batman said when he was talking with Alan Scott, he's going to slip up at some point, and Bruce is going to be there to catch him. This is also building off something that Fraction did in that Alan Scott issue, where Bruce went over about how he wants to appear in the city. That's why he met with Alan in a coffee shop. He needs the city to see that he is around, he is out there, and he also needs the police to see that because he doesn't want them to think that he is going anywhere or is being scared off by Vandal. This is his city and he is going to protect it, and I just really love that. I thought that was a great beginning to this whole Bad Seeds thing that's coming up in the next couple of issues, and I'm intrigued to see what Vandal does in retaliation. Batman issue 10 was another really fantastic issue that led into the upcoming Bad Seeds event. I'm really loving all the stuff that Fraction is doing with Vandal Savage and painting him as this guy who thinks he's saving Gotham when really it's worse than ever. And I love Batman's response to that is to basically let Vandal do his own undoing. He's doing little things that'll make Vandal eventually slip up and reveal his true intentions, and I really love the way we're building up to that. All of the stuff with the Minotaur, I'm really glad we touched back on that character, though I do feel like we were missing a piece of the puzzle there, especially with the reveal of who he is. It felt like it was very nonchalant and we should have known that character, where I don't think we actually knew who that character was before the big reveal. The ties to the Crown families are pretty cool. I like that it is one of the members inside the whole Turon. I thought that was quite cool. And what he has planned and how he's moving through Gotham is really quite cool. I like that he's more of a capitalist villain and not someone who's, you know, some crime lord who is doing like what every other crime lord does in Gotham, which is trying to take power here and there. He's being very smart about it, and he's definitely an interesting villain, and I do hope he gets a bit more story in the coming issues. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.